Welcome to the MARCo instructional video set. This video series is intended to help MARCo users quickly set up MARCo and get the best experience out of using the robot. In this first video, we will go over how to set up a new MARCo for the first time. Step 1. Gather required materials. To get started with MARCo, you will need 1. Your MARCo, the mentally assistive robotic companion. 2. A 5-volt 3-amp wall power supply. One is provided with each MARCo, however, if you prefer another or lose it, any 5-volt power supply with a micro USB plug can be used. 3. The Bluetooth keyboard provided with your MARCo. Alternatively, you may use any wired or wireless keyboard or keyboard-mouse combo you have available, provided it can connect via USB to MARCo. Ensure it is fully charged before you start. You can use the same power supply for MARCo to power the keyboard. Some other optional materials can be used to improve your experience with MARCo or provide additional flexibility depending on how you plan to use MARCo. These include 1. Headphones, for the option of private conversations. 2. An Ethernet cable, for wired network connection in the event Wi-Fi is not available or a wired connection is preferred. This option will provide the most reliable connection, especially if MARCo is intended to stay in one place during usage. 3. A 5-volt portable power supply. These are the same that can be used to power your smartphone, but be careful, not all portable power supplies are the right voltage for MARCo. Using an incorrect voltage supply can lead to permanent damage to the robot. If you cannot find information on your own power supply's voltage, contact MARCo Technologies about obtaining one. Once you have ensured you have all the required materials, you can begin setting up. Step 2. Powering on. Place MARCo in your desired location, ensuring that the robot is near a reliable outlet, an Ethernet jack if necessary, and within a safe distance from any precarious drops, running water, exposed flames, or other hazards. Turn MARCo around and locate the plugs on its backside as shown. There are 5 available plugs. 1 micro USB port for power, 1 headphone jack, 1 Ethernet jack, and 2 USB ports. Open the back of your wireless keyboard. If the battery has a sticker on it, peel it off and plug the keyboard in to charge it. Take out and connect the USB dongle from your wireless keyboard into one of the USB ports. Next, plug your power supply into the nearest outlet. If it is a switching power supply, ensure the button is off, which can be seen by the LED on the cable. Plug the micro USB plug into the power connector on MARCo as shown. Once this is ready, you can switch your power supply on and watch MARCo turn on for the first time. It may take a minute or two to fully turn on. MARCo will be ready for use once this screen is shown. Step 3. Setting up network. If you are using a hard-wired network connection, plug one end of your Ethernet cable into the port in MARCo's back, and then connect the other end to your desired Ethernet plug on the wall or router. It may take MARCo a little while to adjust to the new network connection, so it is recommended that you wait 1 to 2 minutes and then do a hard restart of MARCo by turning off the power supply and then turning it on again. If you are using Wi-Fi, first verify that MARCo was not already connected to your Wi-Fi network. Tap the big green button in the middle of the screen. MARCo's eyes and mouth should light up, but if it does not start speaking within a minute after tapping the button, MARCo is not connected to Wi-Fi. To find the Wi-Fi settings, tap the green arrow and find the Network Config icon. In this section, a list of available networks should pop up. If the networks do not appear within 5 to 10 seconds, hit the home icon and try again until a list of networks appears. Select the network you want to connect to, and it will move to the next screen. If this network has a password, enter it in the password section. If this is an enterprise network, such as Eduroam for school campuses or a private corporate network, enter your username in the top field. If it is an open network, leave both fields blank. Tap the pink arrow to connect. If MARCo is successful, please wait 20 to 30 seconds and then reboot the robot using the button on the power cable. It will speed up the changes MARCo has to make internally to fully be on the new network. If MARCo is not successful, try using the arrow on the left side of the screen to go back to selecting the network and re-enter your information. Once MARCo has selected a network and has fully rebooted, you can test it out. To initialize MARCo again, tap the big green button on its start screen. MARCo should start talking. If the unit does not start talking immediately, wait 2 to 3 minutes to see if it will start talking then. Sometimes MARCo needs a minute to adjust to a new network for the first time. Otherwise, check that the Wi-Fi network is available in your location, and if so, attempt to connect using the earlier steps again. Step 4. Setting other preferences. If you are a caregiver who will be providing MARCo, whether directly or indirectly, there are additional preferences that should be set up before distributing MARCo. The first is to set a default emergency phone number. If you are solely responsible for the MARCo and anyone who interacts with it, you should use your number. Otherwise, use the phone number of anyone who would be responsible for overseeing all MARCos at your location. To set the default emergency contact number or numbers, first ensure MARCo is initialized by tapping the green button on the start screen. Next, tap the gray arrow to reveal the settings icon and tap it. Once in the settings screen, scroll down to select Set Default Phone Nums, and you will be prompted to enter a number. Click Enter on your keyboard when you are finished typing the number. Do not use any hyphens, parentheses, spaces, or other special characters. You may then close this screen. Another setting is the audio output. By default, every time MARCo is turned on, it is set to use speaker output. If you would like to use headphones, first connect the headphones into the headphone jack in the back. Next, in Settings, tap the Switch Audio Output. If it is successful, you will hear MARCo say through the headphones, "The audio has been switched to a different output." Finally, if you have any other settings you want to change or set, there is an option to load backup information from USB, which will be covered in a later video. You may tap on the home icon to go back to the home screen and MARCo will be ready for use. This concludes the first instructional video. If you plan to use MARCo with one designated individual at a time, click on the top video card. If you plan to use MARCo in a public-facing setting, where many users can use MARCo at any time, click the bottom video card.